Hello, I'm Melvyn Jones. I'm a GP in London, work at UCL. So I'm going to be talking about BEME number 28, which is a systematic review of the role of integrated BScs in medical education. And just to acknowledge my co-authors, Surinder Singh, Patrick Hutt and Sophie Eastwood. So the background to this is that integrated BScs are voluntary extensions to undergraduate medicine courses. They're common in Australia, UK, New Zealand, South Africa, the Caribbean, and they're usually offered to the most able students. And they're traditionally associated with progression into academic and hospital careers, but there's increasing availability of clinical and primary care BScs, but they are costly to students and other stakeholders. So an estimate of between £40,000, £50,000, £40,000, $50,000 for each student to undertake one. So the aim of this review was to systematically review published literature on the outcome of students undertaking a BSc and looking particularly at performance in undergraduate or final exams, the impact on students' career choices and the impact on their professional skills and values. So this is a systematic review. We've pulled together quantitative and qualitative data. We use standard methods of searching, derived odds ratio where we could do that from the data, and both methodologies, the abstracts, were independently reviewed. So our searches, fairly standard systematic review searches of ERIC, Medline, Embase, and we use search terms such as medical student, outcome, exam, BSc, bachelor degree, and the date range was from 1984 to 2012. We used a method called critical interpretive synthesis to bring together this data, and what this allows us to do is to bring in qualitative and quantitative together in one methodology. So the results, from our searches we found 19 studies from the quantitative data and 48 studies from the qualitative data. And we'll present data along the sort of chronological student path, so data around the decisions about undertaking a BSc, students' performance in the undergraduate or final exams, impact on students' skills or values, their experiences, and the effect on career choices. So students' decisions about undertaking an IBSc were complicated. There was evidence that the students were doing it who were interested in pursuing research or academic careers, and there was the expectation that the IBSc would help their career. Although this was importantly not for all careers, and that particularly would seem to be the case for psychiatry and general practice. Performance in undergraduate exams was mixed, so two of the studies that we identified reported improved performance in undergraduate performance, whereas the others showed no positive effect. When we looked at other skills, there seemed to be near universal reporting of improved research skills, and particularly critical appraisal skills. There was time for independent intellectual thought and stimulation, deeper learning skills, and personal study skills, but perhaps a worsening of ethical skills. The students largely found it a positive experience. Some found it had a profound impact on their time at medical school, and there's this quote, "That was the year that I learned to think and to question things and find out things for myself." That's where the IBSc degrees may be so important. They prepare students for a lifetime of learning. And that quote comes from Richard Smith, who was the ex-editor of the BMJ. Negatives, there were negatives, and it was largely around money. These were costly courses, so there was the course fees, there was loss of income, there was more debt. But importantly, there was also loss of student social network reported, and there was an academic stress, and that was largely around a pressure to publish for students. The effect on students' careers, career choices, there seemed to be a general perception of improved employment opportunities, and the mechanism seemed to be around making contacts, impact at job interviews, more likely to get funding for higher degrees and fellowships. Unfortunately, when we look at the impact on general practice careers, though, however, we see a negative impact, and most of the studies report less students doing general practice after they've done a BSc. When we look at academic careers, we found that there was a positive effect, quite strong effect, that the students doing BSc were much more likely to pursue academic careers. So, major implications of this review: mixed results on students' undergraduate performance, but they do seem to be developing other useful skills. There's an increased chance of pursuing academic careers, but there seems to be a reduced chance of following a GP career. There seems to be important but less quantifiable benefits around curiosity, space to think, but costs, time, money, separation from peers are the key negatives. So the review is freely available on the Medical Teacher website. Do have a look at it. But what we don't really know is whether these BSc courses help make better doctors, however you were to define that. So if you're thinking about undertaking a BEME review, I think it's a very useful procedure. I think it's a good way of establishing your expertise in the field of medical education. Key things is get a review group with the time and expertise to undertake the review, get your protocol right early, think about how you're going to synthesize your data, because it's largely going to be a mixture of qualitative and quantitative data. Respond fully to your reviewers, and I think the most important thing is that a good BEME review will take a considerable amount of time to undertake, so factor that in from the start. So thank you very much.